Let me ask you something. Think about the last time someone asked you for a favor. Maybe it was a coworker, a friend, someone in your family. You helped them out, felt good about it, and moved on. But what if I told you that wasn't random? What if that person knew exactly what they were doing? What if every word they said, every emotion they triggered, every moment of guilt or flattery you felt was engineered? Here's the thing most people never realize. High IQ individuals don't manipulate you the way you see in movies. There's no mustache-twirling villain sitting in a dark room plotting against you. No, it's way more subtle than that, way more dangerous than that. They do it in plain sight, in normal conversations, at the dinner table, in the office, in your own home. And the scariest part? You thank them for it. You walk away feeling like you made the decision, like you chose to help, like you were the generous one. That's how good they are. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how highly intelligent people use psychological tactics, most of them completely invisible to the average person, to get what they want from you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll look back at certain relationships in your life completely differently. Let's get into it. Let me paint you a picture. You're at work. It's a Friday afternoon. You've got plans, maybe dinner with your family, maybe just a quiet night on the couch. You've earned it. It's been a long week. Then your coworker walks over. Smart guy, always put together, always calm. He leans against your desk, gives you that friendly smile, and says, "Hey, I wouldn't ask anyone else, but you're honestly the only one around here who actually knows what they're doing." And just like that, you stayed late. You cancelled your plans. You helped him finish his project. And on the drive home, somewhere around 8 p.m., you actually felt good about it, like you did something noble. That right there? That wasn't kindness you responded to. That was strategy. Here's what nobody tells you growing up. Intelligence isn't just about solving math problems or acing tests. The highest form of intelligence is people intelligence. And the people who have it, they figured out something most of us never will. They figured out that you don't need to force people. You don't need to beg. You don't need to argue. All you have to do is press the right buttons, and people will move themselves. And we all have those buttons. The need to feel valued, the fear of letting someone down, the desire to be seen as generous, capable, loyal. These aren't weaknesses, they're human. But in the wrong hands, they become tools. Here's what's wild. A study out of Harvard found that most people make decisions emotionally first and justify them logically after. Think about that. You think you're making a rational choice, but your emotions already decided before your brain caught up. High IQ manipulators know this. They don't appeal to your logic. They go straight for your emotions, your ego, your fear, your need to belong. And by the time your brain starts asking questions, you've already said yes. Now, I'm not here to make you paranoid. Not everyone smart is out to get you. But awareness? Awareness is armor. And right now, most people are walking around completely unprotected. So in this video, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to go through the exact tactics used, one by one, so you can finally see what's been happening right in front of you. Because once you know the game, nobody can play you without your permission. So now you know the game exists. But here's what makes it so hard to catch. These tactics don't feel like manipulation. They feel like compliments. They feel like concern. They feel like someone genuinely cares about you. That's the genius of it. Let me introduce you to something called the halo effect. It's a real psychological phenomenon, and high IQ people exploit it constantly. Here's how it works. When someone is charming, attractive, or confident, your brain automatically assumes they're also trustworthy, honest, and kind. You ever meet someone and within 60 seconds think, "I just really like this person"? That's not instinct. That's the halo effect doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Smart manipulators build that halo on purpose. They're warm when they first meet you. They remember your name. They ask about your kids, your weekend, your life. They make you feel seen. And once that halo is built, It's almost impossible to see past it, because now your brain is defending them before they've even asked you for anything. Here's another one, and this one hits different. It's called strategic vulnerability. This is when someone shares something personal with you, something that feels raw and honest. Maybe they open up about a struggle, a failure, a fear. And what do? You immediately trust them more. You think, wow, they really opened up to me. They must really trust me. But here's the truth. Some people aren't opening up because they trust you. They're opening up because they want you to trust them. It's a calculated move dressed up as honesty. You give them your trust. And now they have access. This is what separates high IQ manipulation from regular manipulation. Regular manipulation is clumsy. People can feel it. But intelligent manipulation feels like connection. It feels like friendship. It feels like someone finally gets you. And that feeling? That's exactly what they're counting on. But hold up, because this is where things get really interesting. The next segment is where we get into the specific tactics, the ones happening in your everyday life, the ones you've probably already experienced, you just didn't have a name for them. All right, let's get into the actual tactics. And I'm starting with the one that gets people the most, because it sounds like a compliment every single time. It's called flattery priming. Here's how it works. Before someone asks you for something, they build you up. They tell you how smart you are, how capable, how you're literally the only person they know who could handle this. And by the time the request comes, you almost can't say no. Because now it's not just a favor, it's proof of everything they just said about you. Say no, and suddenly you're not that capable, reliable person they described. Your brain doesn't want that contradiction. So you say yes, just to stay consistent with the image they handed you. Psychologists call this the consistency principle. Once we see ourselves a certain way, we work hard to act in line with that image. Smart people use this like a remote control. They don't ask you to do something. They remind you who you are, and then let you do it to yourself. Next tactic, manufactured urgency. This one's everywhere once you know it. Someone comes to you with a problem that needs to be solved right now. There's no time to think, no time to ask questions. The pressure is on, and they need an answer immediately. Why the rush? Because when you're under pressure, your brain skips careful thinking and goes straight to autopilot. And on autopilot, most people default to yes. Take away the urgency, and you might say, "Let me think about it." And thinking about it is the last thing they want you to do. Then there's the favor stack. This one is subtle and absolutely ruthless. Someone does something small for you, totally unsolicited. Brings you coffee, sends you an article, covers for you once. Nothing crazy. But now you feel indebted. And when they come calling, that debt is getting collected. They never mention it. They don't have to. You already feel it. These three tactics alone, flattery priming, manufactured urgency, and the favor stack, are responsible for more lost time, money, and energy than most people realize. And we're just getting started. We're going deeper now, because the tactics I just broke down, those are the warm-up. The ones coming up are more advanced, more calculated, and honestly, more dangerous. Let's talk about gaslighting light. Now, most people hear gaslighting and think of toxic relationships or extreme emotional abuse. But there's a softer, sneakier version that highly intelligent people use in everyday situations, at work, in friendships, even in family dynamics. Here's how it plays out. You raise a concern. Maybe something felt off. Maybe you noticed a pattern. And instead of addressing it, they make you the issue. You're overthinking this. Why are you always so sensitive? I didn't mean it like that. You always misread me. Suddenly, you're not talking about what they did. You're defending your own perception of reality. And while you're busy doing that, the original issue disappears completely. That's the move. Shift the focus. Make you doubt yourself. Walk away clean. Next, information asymmetry. This is a big one in professional settings. Smart manipulators hoard information strategically. They know things you don't, and they decide exactly when to reveal it and when to withhold it. Why? Because knowledge is power, and controlling what you know controls what you do. Ever been in a meeting where someone drops a key piece of information at the last second, completely changing the outcome? That's rarely an accident. That's timing used as a weapon. They let you operate with incomplete information. You make decisions based on what you know, and they guide those decisions from behind the curtain. Then there's triangulation. This is when someone brings a third party into a situation to apply pressure. Maybe they casually mention that everyone agrees with their position, or they tell you what someone else supposedly said about you, creating insecurity and competition where there was none. Suddenly, you're not dealing with one person anymore. You're dealing with a whole invisible crowd. And that crowd is pushing you exactly where they want you to go. See the pattern here? Every single tactic removes your ability to think clearly and freely. That's not an accident. That's the point. Okay, we've covered the tactics. We've seen the patterns. But here's the question nobody asks. Why does it work so well on smart people too? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Having a high IQ doesn't protect you from this. In fact, sometimes it makes you more vulnerable. And understanding why is one of the most important things you'll take from this video. It comes down to something called emotional blind spots. See, highly intelligent people often trust their own reasoning above everything else. They think, I'm smart enough to know when I'm being played. And that confidence? That's exactly the opening a manipulator needs. Because while your brain is busy being logical, they're working on your emotions. And emotions don't care how smart you are. They bypass logic completely, every single time. There's actually a term for this, the intelligence trap. Research shows that smarter people are sometimes better at rationalizing decisions they've already made emotionally, meaning they don't make better decisions, they just build better excuses for the wrong ones. A manipulator doesn't need to outsmart you, they just need to trigger the right emotion and let your own intelligence do the rest of the work. Next, let's talk about isolation tactics. This one is slow, gradual, almost invisible until it's too late. A skilled manipulator subtly creates distance between you and the people in your life who might challenge their influence. Maybe they plant small doubts. I don't know, does she really have your best interests at heart? Maybe they monopolize your time. Maybe they position themselves as the only one who truly gets you. Little by little, your circle shrinks. And the smaller your circle gets, the more dependent you become on the one person engineering the whole thing. Finally, reframing reality. This is when someone consistently presents situations in ways that always benefit them. They're not lying exactly. They're just curating which version of the truth you see. Over time, you start seeing the world through their frame. Their priorities become your priorities. Their enemies become your enemies. And you never even notice the shift. All right, I need you to stop for a second, because we've covered a lot of ground. And right about now, I know what's happening in your head. You're running through faces, names, situations. You're thinking about that one person at work, that friend who always seems to get what they want, that family member who leaves every conversation with exactly what they came for. And maybe, just maybe, you're wondering if you've ever done some of this yourself. That's okay. Sit with that. Because here's the pattern interrupt nobody talks about. Awareness is a two-way mirror. The same moment you recognize these tactics being used on you, you also have to be honest about whether you've used them on others. Not because you're a bad person, but because some of this is so deeply wired into human behavior that we do it without even realizing it. We flatter before we ask. We create urgency when we need a favor. We frame stories in ways that make us look better. The difference between manipulation and influence comes down to intent. Are you trying to help both people or just yourself? That's the question worth asking. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below right now. Tell me, which one of these tactics have you personally experienced? The flattery priming? The manufactured urgency? The isolation? Be honest. You might be surprised how many people share your exact story. And if you're watching this thinking, I've never experienced any of this, I want you to really think again. Because the most successful manipulations are the ones you never detected. That's literally the definition of how they work. Here's the hard truth. Most people go their entire lives never having this conversation, never learning these patterns, never building this awareness. They just keep saying yes when they mean no. Keep giving energy to people who only take. Keep wondering why they feel drained, but can never explain why. You're not most people. You're still here. You're paying attention. And that changes everything. Because what's coming next is the part that actually sets you free. This is the part that matters most, because information without application is just entertainment. And I don't want you to finish this video feeling scared or paranoid. I want you to finish it feeling equipped. So let's lock in the key takeaways and talk about how you actually protect yourself. First, trust your gut. Seriously, science backs this up. That uncomfortable feeling you get when something's off. That's not anxiety. That's your brain pattern matching faster than your conscious mind can process. High IQ manipulators are skilled, but they can't fully suppress that signal in you. When something feels wrong, pause. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't let someone else talk you out of it either. Your instincts are data. Second, slow down the yes. Most manipulation relies on speed, urgency, pressure, emotion in the moment. The single most powerful thing you can do is simply wait. Let me think about it and get back to you. That one sentence dismantles manufactured urgency completely. People with good intentions will always respect that pause. People with bad intentions will push back hard. Now you know which one you're dealing with. Third, protect your inner circle. The people who knew you before someone new entered your life, they matter. If you notice yourself drifting from them, ask why. Healthy relationships expand your world. Manipulative ones quietly shrink it. Fourth, name the pattern out loud. There is enormous power in simply saying, "It feels like I'm being pressured right now," or "That sounds like flattery before a request." You don't have to say it to them, say it to yourself. Naming the tactic breaks its power almost instantly. And finally, know your value independently. Most manipulation works by making you dependent on someone else's validation. When you know who you are, your worth, your boundaries, your purpose, that foundation becomes almost impossible to shake. You are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Read that again. The most powerful word in the English language is a complete sentence. No. Learn to use it without guilt, without explanation, without apology. We made it. And I want you to take a breath, because what you just learned, most people will go their entire lives never knowing this. You now understand how intelligent manipulation works. You know the tactics. You know the psychology behind them. And most importantly, you know how to protect yourself.
In this fleeting life,
but here's what I really want you to walk away with. Not everyone is out to get you. Most people in your life genuinely love and support you. This knowledge isn't meant to make you suspicious of everyone. It's meant to make you discerning. There's a big difference. Trust people, but stay awake. Love people, but know your worth. Give generously, but never from a place of fear or obligation. Because you deserve relationships that are real, connections built on genuine respect, not strategy.
We are truly
and now that you can see the difference, you'll never settle for less. So here's my challenge to you. Share this video with someone who needs it, someone who gives too much, someone who always seems drained, someone who deserves this awareness as much as you did today. you might just change their life. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. It helps more people find this message. Subscribe so you never miss what's coming next. And drop a comment below. I read every single one. God bless you, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.